Hello, hello. Welcome into NASCAR Inside the Race. Following an exciting history was made at COTA, Circuit of the Americas. It was the largest crowd I have heard that we have had on hand for a NASCAR race there since we've been racing at COTA, but it was all Tyler Reddick. He just walked the dog out there in Austin, Texas. I am Alex Weaver, joined by my buds, Kyle Petty and Steve Letarte. As always, we're going to break down everything. We want your opinion. We want your questions. We want your hot takes. We want it all. So please, I'm eyeing the chat as we're talking through things here. So fire away and send us all your thoughts. But Stevie, Tyler Reddick is the story of this season so far. 2026 is the year of 2311 racing.
Yeah, let's not look too hard for the storyline in this one. It's rare you can do something that hasn't been done in 70 years of a sport, and Tyler Reddick did it by winning 3 in a row. And KP, it was an old school butt kicking. I'll just say it like that. Like in double file restarts and wave buys and rules and strategy and fuel mileage and all this stuff that I love, none of that mattered. It was toe-to-toe, trading blows with the best in the business lined up behind him, top to bottom, that 45 team. I mean, they executed really from the first lap of practice through qualifying. They won everything.
Yeah, they won everything. And when you look at it, I think qualifying was a huge win. We talk about how important qualifying is and getting that spot and getting that clean air right off the bat. But he took advantage of it. Now, in the first segment, we saw him falter a little bit because he dropped back through the pack after 15 or 16 laps. And you're thinking, oh my gosh, what's going on here? They talked about excessive tire wear and degradation and all this stuff. But man, after they got this thing right, everybody took a swing at him. SVG took a swing at him. Blaney took a swing at him. I guess Briscoe took a swing. Everybody had a chance and everybody had a shot. And he never checked up. I don't think he had a mirror in that car today. I don't think he had a camera. I don't think he had anything because once he got out front, he never looked back.
There is no better thing for me to go out and beat the best. And I feel like when you go and earn a win, as we're watching Tyler Reddick, I mean, just hit every single mark. And the final lap, as he's coming to take the checkered flag, when you go out and you beat somebody like SVG, who we have just watched absolutely dominate on these road courses. I mean, such an awesome win for the 45. We mentioned the first driver ever in the history of NASCAR to win the first 3 races of the season, but he's done it in different fashion every single week. KP, your guy, what happened with Carson Hocevar here at the end?
Listen. I guess it got away from him a little bit, and he got out in the dirt. According to Mike Joy, I had a heart attack listening to the race. I got to be honest with you, because he went crazy after they had taken the white flag. But you know what? And you're right. You talk about beating the best, and I think I text you guys. It's like when I'm gonna date myself. When Mike Tyson finally got beat, it's like, man, everybody beat him. When Tiger Woods finally got beat, everybody beat him. Once you saw the chink in the armor, once you saw that he could be beat, everybody just stepped up. So I think this was a big day for the rest of the field too, to say, hey, we can beat SVG. We just saw Tyler do it. We know we've outrun Tyler before, so we can go outrun SVG. So it's going to be interesting to see as we move forward. SVG is a phenomenal race car driver, but I said it when he came in, and I'll say it again today. You see his data. You get to look at everything he's done. He made these guys up their game. Everybody's game is better today because of SVG. He has changed the sport because of it. And when you finally beat the teacher, you beat the master, then it opens the door for other people, I think.
Yeah, it was a reminder. I mean, pre-SVG, Reddick was the guy. Remember, he went to 2311 and just kicked everybody's butt at COTA, and it was like this magical fit for him. But I think you said it, Alex. For me, when you look at starting the year with 3 wins, it's, normally, I won't say always the 500 because it wasn't, but normally, at least in the last 30 or 40 years, it's been the Daytona 500. And then we threw Atlanta, which there's a lot out of your control. And then to go do it at a road course. And what's scary is there's a little bit of that Larson effect here, or the Jeff Gordon in his prime effect here, which is, all right, now let me know what can't win. Look, I'm not saying would have been the favorite heading to Phoenix preseason, but he's undefeated. So I don't know how you can't make him the favorite heading in the next week already.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like until he loses, he is the favorite every single week. It's like
I'm that roulette player that, like, if it lands on red, I'm betting red. Everyone's like, no, it's gonna go the other way. I'm like, nope. I'm sticking with what's winning.
Keep picking red as long as red wins. It's
that
Scotty Scheffler out there.
Chumba Casinos. That's what I was gonna say, man. Chumba Casinos. Coach Chumba, baby.
Yeah.
First
You know,
time ever in my life I've ever Googled Chumba Casino. So I don't know who decided to bet their money on putting Chumba Casino from that company on Tyler Reddick's car, but way to do it and make the decision in 2026 because you've gotten your money's worth. Let's hear from the winner now. We have the post-race sound from Tyler Reddick. Can we fire that up?
Tyler, no one has ever won 3 races to start a year. You make history here today. What does that mean to you?
Means the world. Yeah, you know, it's so fitting. You know, we get going at the end there, and I'm leading, and there's SVG, the guy I've been trying to beat for a while now, and just you know, to be able to outlast him there and hold on for the win is it's incredible. We just really proud of the Chumba Casino Toyota Camry, everyone at 2311. We worked really hard. We did not like getting beat like that at road courses, and it's one race, but it was so important, you know, so fitting that we were able to get 3 in a row and make history.
Listen, I love we didn't like getting beat. So Jeff Burton, I'm going to give Jeff Burton this because, you know, he's a little old school, little rough and tumbled, and he kept saying he was mad that SVG came in here and he didn't see a little bit more just pissed off NASCAR guys.
Me too. And I was mad.
So to hear Reddick say, hey, we were sick of getting beat, and he put the effort in. I thought it was over well before this. But then all of a sudden, SVG cooled his tires off and made a great run. And then, boom, he drove away again. So, Reddick, to your point, KP, you know, you joke about the mirror or the camera or nothing. Yeah. It would have been so easy to make a mistake. But he forced the guys behind them to do something that they couldn't do. They couldn't get by him all day.
Yeah, and here's the thing. And we were speaking about this when watching SVG's interview. What was the word he used about Tyler's driving?
Oh, yeah. SVG said, what did he say? He said it was exquisite driving.
Yes. Exquisite. I mean, he saw it firsthand. He saw what Tyler Reddick did. Never put a wheel wrong. He complimented him before he said anything about the car, anything about the competition. He complimented the driver. High praise from the guy who had won 5 previous road courses. And Tyler being mad about it. And you know those guys were upset about it. They were upset when Marcus Ambrose came in and kicked everybody's rear end. I'll go all the way back to the 60s when Dan Gurney and Parnelli Jones came in and used to kick butt. These guys get teed off when somebody outside the sport comes in. Listen, when Juan Pablo came in, they were mad when Juan Pablo came in one race. It doesn't make any difference. If you're not a NASCAR driver and you come from out here, you're an outsider. Even if you win races, you're an outsider. And when SVG starts winning on ovals, I think they'll embrace him a little bit more. But right now, he's that road course guy, and they did get mad about it. And Tyler especially, because he took races away from Tyler when Tyler should have been winning some of these races because he had established himself as a road course guy.
Listen, the Denny Hamlin haters are going to yell at me, but let me say we have seen other very big stars come in the sport over the last 25 years and own teams, right? Whether it was, remember, Aikman had a team and other people have come in. So when MJ came in, you know, I think we wanted success, or we hoped they would be successful, because if a guy of his magnitude gets involved, you want him to be good. But, you know, I'm not going to give MJ credit for the hiring of the drivers or the people or, you know, maybe raising the capital and helping him with some marketing, but he's a race fan, but he's not a racing executive. You have to say Denny Hamlin was the guy, right? Him, Mike Wheeler, some of the executives over there to go get. What did he told you, KP and Alex? After the 500, he sat right there in the Daytona 500 victory lane and told you all, I feel like this was the reason I called this guy and said I had to hire this guy. And now, you know, if he'd have run second to him, he'll be kicking himself. But as long as he's not running second to him and he's beating everybody else, now you're giving MJ something that he can't have, which is success. You can't just buy success. You have to go earn it.
Yeah, you have to. And listen, I thought it was cool on the cool down lap. We saw Denny right up the side of Tyler, and obviously he's the owner. But I think that is a huge sign of respect from another driver too. When you see that, when you see the race is over, but Denny's is excited for him because Denny made that call. Denny knows he's the guy. Yeah. Denny put him in that position, and Denny wants him to be successful because that shows that Denny made the right decision. And I listen, from the time they announced Tyler Reddick was coming over here, I think everybody knew we were going to see this type of racing out of this guy and this team.
I mean, we watched Tyler Reddick in the Xfinity Series, now the O'Reilly Series, two-time champ in that series. I mean, we knew it was a matter of time before he was extremely successful. He was such a good race car driver as we were watching
Yeah,
him
but
come
hold
up the
on.
ranks.
It's only been a matter of time for a lot of guys that it never came. So
Yeah.
That's
so
true.
I
That's
just
true.
want to say there's a lot of guys that, man, when they get to Sunday, they're gonna get it done, and not
That's
all of
true.
them do.
But I
true.
go back to Tyler winning those championships and stuff, and I remember him being at Homestead winning those championships.
Oh.
And you looked in his face, and it's like, how'd I end up here? How did I get
Yeah,
here? I
yeah.
mean, he was just like, he'd get out of the car, and it's like, how did I win this race? How did this
Right.
happen? Now he gets out of the car, and it's a different Tyler Reddick. It's I belong here. I deserve to be here.
Yeah.
I'm winning these things because we're good. We're good as a team. I'm a good driver. We have a good organization, and we deserve to be winning this. It's a totally different Tyler Reddick if you play and the juxtaposition of those interviews from even a championship interview to where he's at right now. He's a force. I'm telling you. And Steve and we all talk about momentum all the time, but 3 in a row momentum, nobody's seen this before. This is something that has not happened at the beginning of the season.
You're carrying all the momentum. And I think for me, the biggest thing is as I was watching, first of all, Tyler had so much speed on the straightaways, pulling away from SVG every single straightaway that we hit at COTA. But I was a little worried because I've seen Shane do it before at road courses where he's saving his stuff, he's not burning up his tires, and I thought he's sandbagging. Like we're just kind of getting glimpses of coming up close to Tyler. And it wasn't until Shane came across the radio and was like, I just have no speed. I'm sorry, that I was like, oh, Tyler has hit every mark perfectly. He is just outrunning one of the best on road courses ever. So for me, it was a solid run from Tyler Reddick today. And I think he won the race. Shane did not lose the race, in my opinion.
Hey, if you think that was nerve-wracking for you, Billy Scott, congratulations.
Heck no.
Sat there. Wanted to throw up. There's nothing you can do but watch. You can't really coach. So tip of the hat to the crew chief. 3 in a row for the crew chief as well.
Yeah.
So, do I throw my hot take in here because he is my hot
Go
take.
for it. KP's hot take. Let's fire it up.
This is my hot take. So this is my hot take. 3 in a row. Tyler Reddick, 21-11. We've already talked it through. We've said everything you can say about it. But this is what I want to say about it is, after 70 some odd years, 77, whatever odd years it is of NASCAR racing, we still can see history made. We still can witness history. And we saw it this year. We saw it from the beginning of the year. Daytona, Atlanta, COTA, 3 different types of racetracks that you have to race differently on. We talk about Atlanta and Daytona being a speedway, but they are as far apart as being speedway races that are compatible as any other racetracks we run. Then you throw in COTA. They did it. And I want to say this, and I want you everybody to pay attention to this. From the very beginning, 1949, okay, from Red Byron to Curtis Turner to Fireball Roberts to Lee Petty to Richard Petty to David Pearson to the great Dale Earnhardt Sr. to Jeff Gordon to Tony Stewart to Joey Logano to Denny Hamlin, no driver has ever started the year 3 in a row. 3 in a row. No driver. We've seen 2 5 different times from 1957 to I think 08 or 09, right along in there. But no driver has ever started the year 3 in a row. This is something unheard of in this sport. And everybody lines up at Daytona the same with the same shot. We can go 3 in a row, and it doesn't happen. Everybody for 77 years, and Tyler Reddick does it. And this is a moment in the sport that we should sit back and celebrate 23-11 and Denny Hamlin and Michael Jordan and the entire team. Listen, my man Steve talked about the party after Daytona. This should be the party all the way to Phoenix. I'm telling you something, because this is something nobody in the Hall of Fame has done.
Yeah, impressive.
And did it on 3 very different racetracks. It's not like he won 3 super speedways or 3 road courses. I mean, we went to a super speedway that was 2.5 miles at Daytona, which is the insane of the most insane. We did it at Atlanta, which you guys are, I don't know if I even remembered this until we're halfway through COTA. He had no right front fender. I mean, he just won the race in completely different fashion on a 1.5 miles that races now like a super speedway, and then goes and dominates on a road course that is, correct me if I'm wrong, Stevie, one of the most technical road courses and most challenging road courses we see all year long.
It's the magical mix is really what it is, because it has the really technical from 1 up the S's for that 6A, 6B. It's kind of, I call it, that's the driver's section. Okay, so that's the driver's section for me right here. These switchbacks, all these cars are handling average. I don't think anyone's handling better than everyone else. It's like who can risk those tire barriers. I know those tire barriers seem small, but A+ to define. Just last week on driving school or on racing school, SV told us about the vision there. I thought those tire barriers really defined the track for the fans. So that's the driver's section. Then you get here through 6A, 6B, and now we're going to go through the stadium section, which I think is a little bit of the, hey, your car has to work and the driver has to be good. And then 19 and 20, it's like, man, your car has to work. It's two lefts. Like if your car doesn't make the left, because everybody talks about how good Reddick got off the front stretch, but I actually think that happened in the dead middle of turn 20. I'll dork it out for a minute, talk about the car. I don't think it was more power. I think that if you look at minimum rolling speed, the 45 car probably gets on the gas running 2 or 3 miles an hour faster than the 97 because his car just changed direction better. So, COTA's a test for all of it.
Yeah, listen, and I'm just sitting here thinking about, and you're talking about the different sections of the track and how he's got to do it. And we talk about Daytona and Atlanta. In horse racing parlance, since we're talking Chumba here, it's like the Kentucky Derby and the Belmont Stakes and the Preakness. They're different tracks. Every track is different. So when you have a Triple Crown winner, it is rare air. We have our first Triple Crown winner is basically what it boils down to. After 77 years, 78, whatever it is, we have our first Triple Crown winner. And yes, he's not taller than most jockeys. He's about the same, but that is huge, dude. That is huge.
Dirt, turf, and a mutter.
That's it, man. That's it. That's a perfect way to put it.
I mean, we go to Phoenix next week, and I just am looking at Tyler Reddick. What can he do at Phoenix? I'm like, let's see.
I can tell you what he's not going to get is an extra
track speed.
Because if you think they were all pissed at SVG for 5 road courses in a row, I can tell you, they're on Friday, they'll be like, man, good run last week. They're not going to be good nothing on Sunday. They're like, nope, not this guy again.
Bullseye on your back for sure. Well, he's my favorite athlete. He is the GOAT of all GOATs. So I want to hear Michael Jordan's post race with Jamie Little. Can we listen to that for 1 second?
Michael Jordan is out of breath. That's 3 weeks in a row. 77-year history of NASCAR, Michael. This has never been done. What can you say about the domination by your team today?
It's time for change. Time for change, and the guys feel the same thing. And Tyler came in with the most pressure, I guess. Everybody expected him, or he had a chance to win 3 in a row. That's the hardest one to win, And he kept to his strategy, and, man, the guys put together a great car, man. And I think Billy did an unbelievable job in calling the game, calling the race, and Tyler did a good job. He beat some good competition. I mean, when you see SVG coming back there, you get a little nervous, but I think he had him covered pretty much the whole day.
Listen, if they don't have a Jumpman logo with a Reddick helmet and 3-peat, then they're not selling T-shirts. I mean, that would sell right off the shelves, right? Like the old Bulls 3-peat. You could put the dates. You just on the back. You could put the dates. You could put the Jumpman with like a helmet on it. Telling you,
look like a mini Jordan flying across.
It's also never less cool for me every single week when like Michael Jordan's like, yeah, he beat some good guys, SVG. And I'm like, hold up, he's talking about my sport. Like, I know exactly what he's, that's just the coolest thing ever to see Michael Jordan walking up and down pit road. He did say he'd be in Phoenix. So apparently he has to come to every single one as long as they're winning. Let's go on top of the pit box with Steve. Because Steve, what were the keys to today? What did you see that you learned from this 45 car?
So listen, I'll tell you, when it comes to the 45 car, we talk about it a lot and you hear football. You got win on the offensive side, the defensive side, special teams. That's what the 45 car did. They won in qualifying. They won in the race. They won in strategy. They won on pit road. They didn't lose the ball anywhere. They had no turnovers. They had no fumbles. They not only had the fastest car, but then they gave the fastest car the best chance to win the race. That rarely happens. At some point, you mess it up and you ask them to do something different. KP mentioned it. They weren't the best car all day. There was a little bit of weakness in that first run. Either Tyler adjusted how his driving style was going to be, or the crew chief adjusted. I think that was the big thing for the 45. The other big thing I'll say from on top of the pit box is I was absolutely wrong about the effect of the chase on the racing on the racetrack. I believe what we saw here, I'll take Ty Gibbs, for instance. Now, I don't know if he would have beat the 45, but the 54 of Ty Gibbs, that car ran like a car that was 60, 70 points behind, and they had to finish. And I don't think it's that way in the old system. I think you think, well, we're going to gamble because we have to win a race. I think they mentally would have already been out of points racing. And while points racing became an ugly word, 10, 20 years ago. It's not an ugly word. Like, points are the commodity in which you are measured by. Trophies, then points. So trophies should be good enough, not because they put you in the playoffs. We're not talking about Tyler Reddick making the playoffs. We're talking about Tyler Reddick putting 3 trophies in the trophy case. That's how it should be. And SVG can have a good day in second. Ty Gibbs can have a good day running good in the stage. I think that's what I misjudged or maybe just mismeasured what the chase would do. It made this race more compelling for me. And I think we're going to see this on a lot of tracks. Not all the ones, like some are what they are. You're going to run to the end of the stage. But I believe the decisions are going to be tougher for the teams that don't provide. Now, Reddick, at this point, he's probably not counting points by the handful. He's got so many, he doesn't really worry about it. But your lack of performance early puts you in bad positions late, which is what racing should be. It should be a total, effort of your work. So that's what I saw. I thought it was great. Listen, I love it. I think 4 road courses is going to be a lot of fun. And COTA, once again, the short course too, by the way. 2 thumbs up to the short course. I don't need all of COTA. So I really enjoyed the shorter version.
Yeah, I agree.
It also, KP, when you're watching drivers go through the S's here at COTA, I mean, for me, that's my favorite part of the racetrack. I think it's where we saw the speed of SVG. I mean, it was just crazy how fast he got through the S's there. But when you look at a place like COTA, are you okay with the shorter COTA that we have now?
Yes. Listen, it's the same old thing. And we talk about this a lot of times. You don't have to run 200 miles an hour to have a great race. Some of the greatest races you'll ever see are at 55 or 60 miles an hour. You don't have to have an 8-mile road course to have a great road course, okay? You can have it in a parking lot through cones, and it'll still be a great road course if you've got great competitors. And that's what we have at COTA, and that's what we had today. And SVG was great up through the S's. But I'm going to say this. Tyler Reddick was just as good. He would close a little bit, but he never could close that gap. And so I know there's places where you look at it and that you're always going to get that on a road course. You're always going to get that with different drivers. One guy's better here, one guy's better here. But it's time over distance. And Tyler Reddick put down the time over distance, which means the time over 1 lap consistently better than SVG did, and that wins the race.
Loved it.
Let's talk about the up and down day we saw of Hendrick Motorsports, because it was a storyline of Alex Bowman in the 48, obviously. But then we also had the 5 of Kyle Larson, who didn't have his cool suit working. Hottest race we've seen all year so far, which not hard to beat because Bowman Gray was -20 in the snow. So when you look at Hendrick Motorsports, Steve, first of all, let's talk this 48. Well, issues inside of the race car. Driver was dealing with something, had to make a driver change.
I liked what I heard on the radio. We only heard a snippet of it from Fox, but basically, Alex was letting him know that he was in trouble. He might need to get out. And the crew they were like, listen, it's on you, man. Like if you got to park it, park it. And I think that, I'm gonna basically go completely to the other side of the fence, what I just talked about in points. But the one thing I did like about the old system is I thought it allowed drivers to make a more health conscious decision. I think if we look back in the history, as we're smarter, KP, there were definitely guys that got behind the wheel that probably didn't need to be there consistently. They're human beings. I know we judge them. Yeah, no kidding, right? So I know we judge them as athletes and athletes only, but let's remember that they're humans. Look, I don't know what was going on with Alex. You hope it was just either the heat or he's under the weather. This is a driver that did sit out with concussions. He's had some back injuries, right? So you just hope that it was, hey, man, I'm sick. I have this issue. We saw AJ Allmendinger needing medical assistance. So the heat made a big difference. For Hendrick as a whole, actually, look, I thought the 5 and the 9 and the 24 all ran pretty good. I think the 48, you can't really tell anymore. Now, I don't think I've seen relief drivers, but I've never seen from the TV world to Myatt Snyder. I'm telling you, man, the only thing I'm going to pick on Myatt, he probably did pretty good, but I don't know where he ran from. But let the man get some breath before you get him.
Literally. He's probably running up and down pit road with Jamie Little, pit producing.
Yeah. That's true.
Let the guy go. But how cool is that? I will say this. Let's applaud Myatt. There's a guy who he has so much talent that Chad Knaus thought to put him in his race car. Yeah. Like, look, they could have parked it, right? He goes, no, I believe in Myatt that he can go make laps. And if people look, let's just talk about what they were trying to do. If there's a bunch of wrecks and cars break, you're going to pass them in points. So, hey, this goes back to the point system, right? Because last year, I think they would have just parked it. So hopefully all the drivers that were under the weather are better now.
This is why I love NASCAR and I love this sport, because never ever at a Major League Baseball game are you going to see a manager step out of the dugout and say, "Hey, peanut guy,
That's
you're
right.
in." You know
This
what
is
I
like,
mean?
when you need a caddy, KP. This is like, hey,
Yeah,
can you carry
that's
my
right.
bag? Come on in here. You're up.
Come on under the ropes. Here, you're up, dude.
It was
That's
great.
what.
It was
But
great.
that is what was so cool. And listen, I will say this from my years of sitting in one of these things. The first hot race of the year is always the worst.
The worst,
Always
yeah.
the worst, man, because you're just not in that racing shape. These guys work out, they do all this stuff, and that's good. That's good. But Steve, you play golf, you know it. There's a thing known as golf shape. When you play 16 or 18, 36 holes a day, you get used to walking, you get used to playing, you get used to the mental game, and you're in shape to play the game. Once you get used to the heat, you're in shape to drive the race cars. Coming off some of the weekends that we've had, the cold, windy weather at Atlanta, the chill at Daytona, sub-zero or sub-freezing at Bowman Gray, this was going to be a bad race for everybody, for a lot of people. And there's nothing worse than a cool suit that doesn't work, because then it becomes a fur coat. And that's the way it is, because it just stifles. It's just on you. There's nothing. And mentally, it's devastating, because you know it should be working and what you should be feeling like, and it's not. It's almost better to go with nothing and suffer through the heat than it is to have that extra little bit on.
Yeah, if I'm a crew chief, I'm trying to find
Yeah.
some way to get the water out of that. Like, we're gonna have we can't just say, man, it's worse when it doesn't work. Like,
Yeah.
okay, well, how many times can we say that until, like, you got to click something in that pumps the water out? Just something, even if maybe from behind the wall in a pit stop you plug it in. But we got to help these drivers out, because man, it's a sauna.
Well, and I think that's what people sometimes don't. When a cool suit is not working, it's not like it's just like blowing air on you and
It's
all of a
easy.
sudden
You know,
the
your
air
car
stops.
with a cooling
You're
seat,
sitting.
just hit the red
You're
button.
sitting in hot water on your body that's
Great
just
point.
warming. Your body temperature is warming it. The sun and the heat inside of the race car is warming it, so it's making you even hotter than what you would normally be. Probably even if you took the cool suit off. Right? Would you at
Next
least
time
get
on
a little more
next time
air?
on a warm summer day, I want you to put an ice pack on the back of your neck, and you're gonna go, oh man, that feels good. Then I want you to go in, and I want you to get you a hot water bottle, go back out in the sun, and put that in the back of your neck, and be like, oh, that's not as good. That's awful, and that's
Same thing.
basically what happens.
Yeah.
So Hendrick Motorsports finished the day. Kyle Larson got a 6th place finish. Chase Elliott in 7th. Then you go down to William Byron in 13th, and then obviously Alex Bowman, which finished the races. Myatt Snyder inside of the race car finished 36. But for me, the big question, and the one that I have circled a lot when we come to road courses, is the 9. Why can Chase Elliott not win in this next gen car on a road course?
Well, hold on. Let's just say this. He's had some really good runs, like a lot of seconds.
But it's not a win.
Well, I think that the car is different. Like, I know it's the same. I know it's the same sport going to the same tracks, but it takes a different driving style. It has 5 speeds, not 4. It doesn't have an H pattern. It's sequential. It has bigger brakes. It has bigger it's like, so I guess this is what this really is how an analyst distracts, because it doesn't know the answer. Because I don't know if anybody knows it. Maybe, but maybe that's the truth, though, right? I mean, truthfully, Kyle, I think Allen and Chase are the only two that could probably say, well, we don't win because we're not as good here, or not as good here. So that's the truth, Alex, is they don't win because something in their bag of magic is no longer available. Something has gone away, and they haven't been able to find the feel or something in this car.
Yeah. This is what I believe. Okay. Watching drivers age in the older days, back in the 80s, 90s, even into the early 2000s, watching drivers age with the older car, there came a point where they lost what they felt. They lost what they wanted that car to feel like, and they lost how they could make that car feel that way. They were incredible drivers, incredible race car drivers that won hundreds of races combined. If you look at Bobby Allison and Richard Petty, and you look at Rusty, you look at so many great drivers, but somewhere the feel kind of gets foggy and they don't feel it. I think this car has changed that feel and has changed the trajectory of a number of different drivers. Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott. I mean, we can rattle off a handful of them.
Yeah, Kyle Busch for sure.
That feel out of this car, like Steve said, the tricks that worked before that gave Chase Elliott that feel, not only in his hands, but in his feet and in his butt and in his back as he settled into that car. When you're driving it like this, you feel the total car, and he's not feeling with this car what he felt with that other car. So,
and it's the best of the best, KP. Like, that's the thing. Like, it's if you
Yeah.
took the 100 or the 200 sprinter and say, go run the 800, he's going to still kill 99.9% of everybody in the world. But unfortunately, he's racing against the 0.1%. That's the Chase Elliott problem. Like, he lines up against a pretty good lineup.
He lines, you said it. He lines up against the best of the best. That's the way it is.
Yeah.
And the problem is, as he's lining up against the best of the best, Chase Elliott's not that young rookie anymore. He's an established guy. He's that guy. And now you have the Hosevars. Now you have the Zilliches. Now you have the Ty Gibbs. You have these young drivers, Chase Briscoe, who's just jumped into this car only. They've established their feel. They know what they're looking for. So they've moved up to equal, if not a little better sometimes at some of these places, because they don't have those old tricks. My dad always used to say this. Steve Kinser came to the sport. Steve Kinser, one of the greatest race car drivers in the world, one of the greatest dirt drivers. But when he came, my dad said, he's never going to make it. He waited too long to figure out asphalt. Totally different feel. And that's the problem. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. And a lot of the old dogs that we have in this sport, whether they're 33 or 34, their old dogs and their old bag of tricks are with the old car, and they're having a tough time adjusting to the newer car.
What does this mean for us? Poor Chase, 30 years old, an old dog already. I will
Well,
say,
now I will tell you though, if they unlock it, I think it'd be fun. Like, the guy can still
agreed.
That's exactly right. He can win races.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he can't win races.
It has to be something different though. He just needs a new fastball, right? His two-seamer doesn't work anymore. He needs something.
And maybe that's a great example. Maybe he was just a fastball pitcher before. Now he's got to be a pitcher. He's got to figure out a different way to get the ball across the plate. And they will, because there's no – listen, he is an incredibly talented race car driver, already a champion. If you look at the group, you look at Hendrick, you look at the organization, the information that he's able to pull for him, it'll get there. It takes time. I mean, it's not – you don't get to this place overnight, although – a lot of people did when they switched this car. You got there overnight, but you're going to have to find your way back, and he will.
So what I will say overnight, though, that this is going to be people are going to hate when I say this. A lot of people got closer, and they thought closer meant something. Yeah. And like, yeah, man, you're still whatever. You took your 20th place driver who was a half a second off, and now he goes, but I'm only 0.2 off. I'm like, yep, and you're still in 20th. So let me tell you, you got closer, but you didn't get any closer position-wise. Like, the car condensed the field. But in my mind, the first year it might have moved some spots around. But now that we're multiple years in, I'm like, man, I don't know. The field looks like it's squeezed together, but the running order doesn't look like it's changed dramatically for me.
And I will give the 9 and Chase Elliott some kudos, because when this format was released, Chase was at the announcement, but several of us, including the 3 of us on the show, talked about Chase Elliott would be a benefactor of this Chase format. He has finished top 11 in all 3 races in 2026. Consistency will pay off when we start getting closer and closer to the playoffs.
Absolutely.
So,
yes.
Yeah.
Fairways and greens. My man just keeps the ball in play. Pretty boring until he beats you.
That's it.
I just want one on a road course. I want one on a road course again. I just want to see the Alan Gustafson and the Chase Elliott on a road course. All right. Steve, you want to tee it up? My scariest segment of all time.
Oh, I can't wait. Let's get it. I've been waiting to do this. Speaking of traffic, we turned both directions this week. So now we're going to make Weaver turn both directions.
Yeah.
It's time to weave through traffic. We're weaving through traffic with Alex Weaver. All right, Weaves. I've been thinking about this one. There's a couple different ways to go. And I want to focus on the decision to take tires at the end of the race.
Okay.
We heard them say, oh, the 71's in the wrong spot. I'm sitting on my couch thinking, oh, no, I think the 71's in the right spot. So when you're sitting up there, you've seen this the whole time. Do you still scratch your head like, should I come take tires? Should I not come take? Have you figured out? Let's be honest to the fan who's scratching his head at home. Have you figured out this whole how or when should I come pit when these late yellows come out?
No, I don't think anybody's figured it out. And I was interested.
That's not true. No, that's not true.
Wrong answer. Wrong answer.
Nice to see you. Hey, thanks. Good
two teams have figured this tire thing out recently. And the one that I was keeping my eye on was the 20 of Christopher Bell and Adam Stevens, because they were doing something a little different.
Oh, so you were taking notes, though.
I was taking notes, but it got him a solid result. I mean, Christopher Bell, he finished third, but he didn't win the race. So what are you asking of me? Do you want me to go out and win the race?
That's my question to you. That's my question. In the new chase format, do you think you could have like enough moxie to tell your driver that we're just not going to win today, so we're going to do this to get enough point? Like at what point do teams have to accept that they aren't a winning car? Stage 1, stage 2? Come on, you're the analyst.
I'm going to say stage 2.
So was Christopher Bell day? Should Christopher Bell be happy with his day?
Yes. In this new format, yes. Last year, no. I'm disappointed in this. But, I mean, we even heard SVG say it he was like, I've never been so disappointed to be a runner-up, but I had a great point stay. So, I mean, the game has completely changed now that we're in this format, and you can have days that can possibly lead to a championship without winning.
All right, I got to run. Let me get her more uncomfortable, KP. You let me know when the first driver should be disappointed. Reddick wins. He's an easy guess. SVG self-proclaimed said he was okay. You just answered Bell. Ty Gibbs in 4th. Happy or sad?
Happy.
McDowell in 5th.
Ecstatic.
Larson.
Disappointed.
Elliott. Oh, so you think Larson in 6th is the first driver that can walk away sad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because of how strong.
This might be the new game I play, Kyle. This is pretty fun.
I know. I like that because I had Larson and Elliott being happy to finish where they ran.
So did I.
Oh, you did?
The way they ran.
I had Blaney as my first disappointed because I think Blaney had way better than an 8th place car.
Exactly.
So I think the first one, I thought Larson and Elliott kind of finished where I thought they should run. Blaney's the first one that jumped out at me, and I was like, man, I felt like he was better than 8th.
Yeah.
But I think you guys. Okay, maybe I need to come in. Maybe I need to come into the format. No. I need to come into the format of what have you done for me lately? Because I'm so used to Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott being road course. They are just so talented on road courses. So for me, for them to finish 6th and 7th, I'm like,
yeah. I want to know what the chat fan right here, because that's the fan question. Like when it's like, what are the
that was good.
Are the fans happy or not happy?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a great year of weaving through traffic, KP.
Yeah, I got nothing for it. My question to you is: you're on the pit box, and this is what I was going to ask you. You're on the pit box, and your driver is having a medical emergency. Do you park it or get a TV guy to put in? What's your call on that?
That's a legitimate call.
That's a good question. If I'm Alex Bowman and I'm running in 36, I'm parking it.
There we go. I think Steve, mine and Steve's comment was I'd have dumped it in a sand trap somewhere.
I'd have been in the gravel.
Yeah, and called a ride to the hotel.
Yeah. Too much pride out of you two. I know how that works. Too much pride. Okay.
I love it.
I survived that one. Week 2, we're thriving so far. I know they're going to get harder.
It's a long year. Long year.
Let's go through our weekend winners. KP, I'll start with you. Who's your weekend winner for COTA?
My weekend winners, listen, Tyler Reddick is your weekend winner. Bar none, end of conversation. And there's others. Don't get me wrong. I think, and we just mentioned it, Michael McDowell. I think anytime that team or a team like Spire, a team like that goes and they've been doing it with Hocevar. We saw Suarez run from. When you see that team in the top 5 or 10, it's a winning weekend for that team. It's a winning weekend. But when you put up 3 wins in a row, it just overshadows everything else. I can't even think of anything else except Tyler Reddick in 2311.
Yeah, he's our month winner.
2 winners. One is off the wall because he finished 20th, 24th in stage 1, 29th in stage 2, and 20th in the race. And it's a man that a few weeks ago was laying in the hotel or in the hospital getting his leg bolted back together. Brad Keselowski got in the car. He is not a road course driver. I think actually the owner would say, you know what, I'm going to put Joey Handon under the first yellow. He's going to probably do better than me. I'd like back to that old school. And I think it was one of the analysts. I don't know if it was Kevin or Clint, but I love what they said. What Brad did today was he's like, gentlemen, I know I ask you guys to work a lot. I know I ask you to sacrifice a lot. I'm going to run every damn lap. And I'm thankful he could, because look, you never know. So my winner for me is that Brad Keselowski, because that, legs become a real challenge and when you have to brake and do all that. And another off-the-wall winner, and I'm not going to get way into it, but I'm going to applaud the Truck Series. We had a Truck IndyCar doubleheader on the streets, And I thought for sure the streets of St. Pete, I was concerned. I was worried. I'm like, the trucks are the most full younger drivers. And we had Dario in the field. It had a lot of focus. And I thought it was a good show. And what I mean by that is the back half of the field showed some restraint, some give and take. We didn't ride around on the yellow all day long. So I think the trucks are also a little bit of a weekend winner for me. Gets me excited for the doubleheader in Phoenix this week, IndyCar and the Cup Series.
Yeah.
St. Pete is also just beautiful. It was so fun to watch trucks go around there. Go for it, KB.
Great. Can I throw one more winner?
Yeah.
Listen, I'm going to throw, and I should have said this. I'm going to throw Connor Zillich in this.
No, you took mine. You took,
look
at this.
You jumped the line.
Okay, go.
Go ahead, then.
This is my weekend winner.
Go.
Okay, I just want everybody to know, if you haven't joined our fantasy game, 36 for 36 yet, we do have an Inside the Race. There are prizes at the end of the year. I'm going to plug this in because
I have so few points, so you can just jump right in now, or you're going to get me.
I might have less than you, Steve.
Okay.
So I'm definitely buying you dinner.
Todd Gilliland's on my list, and I told him 1 point I used him.
My phone is so dirty, but I picked Connor Zillich to win COTA. And at one point, I just want to also show this text message that I have. So we have a group text, just so you guys know we're actually friends and we actually talk racing. We have a group text.
Am I on that group text?
Steve, Kyle Petty, our producer John on here. I just want everybody to know that Steve Letarte texted halfway through and said Zillich has a real chance.
Yeah.
Halfway through stage 3.
He did.
So I'm just saying, there was a moment where I was like, am I about to do a complete walk-off here?
Yeah.
Hey, but you know what? Here's what I'm going to say. Talk about this. Zillich was like the rookie at football practice who was doing Oklahoma drills.
Yes.
And they knocked him down. Yes. And he was like, I touched you, but I'm the rookie, so I'm going to jump up and do it. You said it right here. On this restart, my man is in the 6th lane.
Yes.
And look, it happens. But 2 days in a row, it had to sting a little bit for Zillich. But I think I can't say he passed the most cars factually because I don't have the real total, but it feels like either him or Ty Gibbs passed the most cars.
Yeah. But this is what I'm going to say, and this is why he's a winner for me, is because he drove from the back to the front. He went back again. He drove that, and then he gets eliminated here. But he performed. He performed. Yeah. He passed. He raced. He did everything that was expected of him. All the hype, everything we've heard, he showed he can do it. He was out there doing it. And that's all he had to do for me today to be a winner. He didn't have to win the race. He didn't have to run up front and lead a bunch of laps. He needed to show me, I think, the way I looked at it was that I can be that Zillich can be a player and he can be in the game. We've seen so many guys come out of the O'Reilly series that won 7 or 8 races their last year in the championship. And then we didn't hear from them for 3 years in the Cup Series. We never even heard their name mentioned. But I think Zillich is going to be a little bit different than that. I think we saw him run up front and try to challenge or try to lead a little bit when we were at Atlanta, and here he was doing it here. He does not have to win races to be a success 6 or 7 races into his season. So I think today he showed that he's going to be a factor as we get more and more into this season.
And honorable mention to Zane Smith, who he was in part of that cannonball. He had nothing to do with it. He hit from the left. But, he had a couple top 10s coming in, and I don't know if he would have, survived to stay in the top 10, but he was in the front third of the field when he got run over.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
I like watching a student of the sport. I feel like Connor is learning. He's absorbing. He's a sponge. It reminds me of, in a different sense, but watching a William Byron and his skills excel and him learning from his peers and from people that have been in the sport longer than him. He also won the pole for the O'Reilly series on Saturday and went on to race against his teammate for that. I mean, Connor Zillich just had a heck of a weekend at COTA. So
he's 19. He should still be in school. He should be a sponge. He should be learning this stuff.
The worst thing, KP, though, is when they throw up the graphic, he's born in 2006. I was like, oh,
yeah.
Who is born in 2006? It's not still in diapers. That's
my gosh. You know what? I just realized there's people racing today that were born after I stopped racing. I am old. I am old. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
If I crawl up in the fetal position over here for a little while, just move on without me. I'm a little
time for all of us to go get some Botox and sit in our salt baths. I don't know what we need to do to not age, but all right. Well, Phoenix next week. Let's give a little tiny preview. Steve, what do you expect from out there in the desert?
First, I don't want to bury the headlines. The doubleheader. Like,
awesome.
Look, I don't get into the politics of it, and I really don't care. You know,
Me
I'm a
either.
fan, and I hate when I hear, well, you can't do this, you can't do this. All it does is really piss me off. For the race fans, congratulations. If you love racing and you love over racing, you get to go see IndyCar Saturday, Cup Cars Sunday. It's a full field of NASCAR. Like it A+ to whomever the decision makers were. A+ to Fox because they have both covered, so they probably had something to do it. A+ to NASCAR, Mr. Penske. First, great weekend ahead. Second, I think Phoenix is a fun racetrack. I know it's been a little blown. It's been a little maybe under the microscope because it's been the championship race and people are looking for this moment and some of the magic. But I actually think what I was saying earlier about the points and all of those things, that's going to help Phoenix. I think it makes it more interesting when it comes to the stages. And let's just be honest. I'm ready for an oval, a true oval, a non-drafting oval. Like I'm ready. I'm really ready to see the Phoenix. I'm ready to see Vegas. I'm ready to see what I consider more traditional style of NASCAR racing. That's not a knock on what's happened, but I'm ready to see, because if Reddick beats him again, you know, where are the Gibbs cars, or where are the Penske cars, or where are the Hendrick cars? I think they're all going to show up. I think we're going to get that question answered, but that's really my thing. So my preview for Phoenix is, if you haven't got it done yet, you can say, yeah, but those were restrictor plate races, and this is something different. And now you go into a really quirky 1 mile track out in the desert.
Yeah, even in the old days, when they used to run Riverside first and then they go to Daytona, people would say, okay, the real season starts at Richmond if we ran next, or at Rockingham, because that's when you got into the meat of what the season was. And, you know, a lot of people say that now. You run Daytona, you run Atlanta, and the type of racing it is, you go to COTA. So the real season starts when we go out west, when we go to Phoenix, when we go to Vegas. You get a glimpse of what the season's going to be. But I could not agree more with Steve. This is a huge, huge weekend for motorsports in America. A huge, huge weekend. You can't. I don't think you can. We talk about history being made with Reddick winning 3 in a row. To go out here and have this weekend with IndyCar is just going to be spectacular for race fans, and they're the winners. Before we even go there, the race fan is the winner that's going to come out of this racetrack, because you're going to see IndyCar fans who are exposed to Cup racing, who are exposed to it right there. They see it, not on TV. They see it, they feel it. And a lot of the Cup fans are going to see IndyCar racing for the first time on an oval. And I think it's just gonna sway and move the needle on a lot of these people for the first time in their life, being there and actually seeing it.
Totally.
I also believe in race markets being rewarded. And when you can have a sellout the majority of the times that we race there, and the race fans pack out Phoenix every single time I've ever been there, I think they deserve a motorsports weekend. So kudos to Fox, kudos to Phoenix. I know it's going to be a heck of a double in the desert. So I'm excited to just be a motorsports fan and enjoy it this weekend. But I don't know if this is a hot take or not. I enjoy Phoenix more in the spring than I do in the fall. I like the racing better.
I think that's totally fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's the unknown.
I get a little more
think
excited in
the
the
championship
spring.
race distracts you from the race, right? Because there like the other storylines, and we're all tired, and it's like it's just a different feel. Look, if you're anywhere in the Northeast or the Midwest, man, just pack your stuff. It's going to be at least 50 degrees warmer. Just come on out to, you know.
At least.
For
the
sure.
weather looks hot.
That is a hot take, but it's a fair hot take.
Yeah.
I think
And I just thought of something when you talk about being 50 degrees warm. You know, a minute ago when I was talking about beating SVG, and I was talking about Tyson and Tiger Woods, I meant to throw in the Patriots too. I'm sorry I didn't throw them in. Once you beat the Patriots, then you can go they can be beat.
Hey, B, are you just trying to suck up to Steve today by mentioning like 3 to at least 2 of us? He's got on the Sunday red sweatshirt.
I mean, listen, you know,
I'm
the guy why he's down. Not only was it a bad Super Bowl, but my team also stunk. So it was a double bad Super Bowl.
At least she made the Super Bowl.
That's all right.
You know, at
Okay.
least she made the Super Bowl.
I got racing on now. Football's over. I'm done with football. I'm ready to watch racing.
All right.
Steve,
Jumba, baby.
Last but not least, give a preview of Latarte's lab this week. What you got cooking
I
in
think
the
we have a lot
lab?
to break down. So the last couple of weeks we had overtime madness or green white checker madness at Daytona, or the closing lap madness at Daytona. We had the host of our show from Atlanta, and I think really at this point we're going to really take a closer look when we say that Tyler Reddick really held off SVG, and I talked about the different areas of the track. I think we're going to take a closer look on really where was Reddick so good. I know it's easy to say he was great, but it was a bit of an accordion, so I'm going to take a closer look at where Reddick really was so good. I think that's going to be a good key. And I do think we're going to look ahead a little bit because with the oval coming, we might take a little peek at the points. I don't want to start too early, but who needs to get to an oval, right? When I look at the points, who's like, thank goodness, I need to go somewhere that I'm a little bit more comfortable. So we're gonna crack open a few conversations in the lab tomorrow. It's gonna be great.
All right. Well, I want more an elaboration on the host of art because KP's hot take last week was kind of a cold take because a lot of people agreed with him.
Man, he lit the fuse on Hotivar.
People agreeing with you. So
yeah.
It's a sad state of affairs when people agree with Kyle Petty. Let me just say that. That's sad. Sad.
What a world we're in. What a world we're in.
All right. Well, we'll be carrying you through this week, getting you ready for Phoenix on all of NASCAR's Inside the Race content. But we'll also be post-race hanging out with you again, as always, on Sundays. We love spending our Sundays with you guys. So make sure and join us back here next week. We'll see you. Thanks for tuning in. For Steve Letarte, Kyle Petty, and myself, enjoy your Sunday evening. We'll see you next week.